let's take your energy, let's take the passion that you have with these issues, and let's think about, because right now the Democrats are almost fully defined by their positions on Trump, as opposed to, people are thirsty for a leadership. And the Democrats, I think, have had a really difficult time responding to that thirst, responding to that action. So what is the process then of redefining what this party is, what it represents moving forward? And are there leaders there? It is sclerotic. I mean, it is a party in real confusion. And I don't know, I can't put my finger on. It reminds me of the Republicans in 2012, where there was just, when Trump came into that first 2016 primary, I mean, he just flicking his finger, not Jeb Bush. Yeah, nice. Boom, done. And I think the Democrats are vulnerable to that. So what is the process of redefining and recapturing what this party is?
Well, I think we need a real agenda. If you've noticed, the Democratic Party has not really had a platform with any sort of new.
I have noticed.
Yeah, there's no platform. I mean, there's technically a platform that gets voted out. This is the crux of it. If you ask a working class American or just any normal American, what is a Democrat? What do they stand for? They will not really be able to give you a clear answer. And so our party needs a clear and strong agenda. I think one of the problems is that the internal incentives within the Democratic Party are quite contrary to a clear, full-throated agenda. And that's why I think you notice, like, Biden on his way out, it was only on his way out that he was like, this country's controlled by oligarchs. Bye. Like, we could have used that energy a couple years ago.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what's going on, family? It's time for No Picks Podcast.
What up, family? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
All right, Joe. So my question is simple. Thoughts on this conversation that you saw Jon Stewart have with AOC about the Democratic Party?
Well, listen, I'm not a big fan of AOC, but I think I do love me some Jon Stewart though. But I'm not a big fan of AOC. But I think that I was happy with her perspective, right? And Ty, we have talked about this so many times. It's like, we've asked this question so many times. What do the Democrats stand for? What do they stand for? And when we think of the things that they've been fighting for or put at the top of their agenda or what they've been campaigning on, abortion rights, LGBTQ, trans, all this other stuff that I'm like, is so out of touch with everyday Americans. And I'm like, bruh, like, you guys don't stand for anything. And when you on a campaign trail, all you hear is just a bunch of platitudes, not policy, not things that are going to make our life, just platitudes. And I'm just like, I don't want to hear your platitudes. Yeah. What policy do you have that's going to change my life, right? So I absolutely agree, bro. Like, I don't know how they're going to redefine themselves. Right now, we covered an article or a clip where they were trying to like, we can't use these words because if we use these words, we're going to keep losing elections. And they had a whole list of like woke words that they weren't using anymore, like the unhoused or birthing people. You know what I mean? Like, I still say unhoused, bro. It's so bad, it's good. I still say that, the unhoused. You mean homeless people? Every time, bro. Unhoused. I love that one, bro. It's so bad, it's good. but you said this is their way of trying to like be cool again, or like try to distance themselves from things that they feel like were hurting the Democratic Party. But it's like, bro, none of that's gonna work for you. Yeah. So that's my short answer. You say something and then we'll unpack.
Yeah. Listen, I agree with you, bro. Like I 100% agree with you. I think her problem is, and everybody in the current Democratic Party is just they're cooked. Y'all have no respect. Y'all like, we just don't look at you as a serious group of people anymore.
Right.
And this is from a lifelong Democrat who voted Republican one time in my entire life. Y'all just not serious, bro. Like y'all just and when I remember voting for Republican, nigga, I voted Republican the whole thing down. I just hit red. Like, bro, I was just like, yo, like, my hope was that, like, that y'all realize that y'all become so ridiculous that y'all gotta change everything. And it sounds like at least y'all trying to have this conversation, but y'all look bad to me. Like I'm not interested. I don't this isn't the Democratic Party I recognized when I was in college.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. And AOC mentioned that there's a lot of like, I guess that a lot of people in the Democratic Party are just paid off.
Right.
So they're following with
let me
these
see.
special.
I think I quoted her with that. She said the internal incentives of the Democratic Party are contrary to a clear agenda.
Right. So they're getting paid to lobby for certain issues, but those issues aren't helping them win elections.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Charlemagne the God recently called Hakeem Jeffries APAC Shakur. And I thought that was so clever, bro. Because I was like, how did I not think of it? He called him APAC Shakur because he's taking all that APAC money and he's pro-Israel, pro-Zionism. He's not speaking for the Palestinian cause. And remember, that was one of the biggest issues that people said cost Kamala the election was the war on Gaza and with Israel. Like her stance on that hurt her significantly, especially with the younger generations. Like that was a big issue for us. You know what I mean? That was a big issue for me. I'm like, listen, I'm not voting for genocide, right? So a lot of these Democratic members are just bought off, bro, and they're not fighting for us. Hakeem Jeffries, we said recently, won't even endorse Mondani in New York. It's his demographic, his constituents. They want Mondani, and he won't even endorse him. Our own Democratic member, the head of the Democratic Party, will not endorse a Democratic person running right now for mayor.
Right.
And that for me is insane. That shows how disconnected the Democratic Party is from everyday Americans. It really does, bro, because you could lean into that and try to maybe win some elections, but instead they're not even endorsing him. That's sad. That's sad.
So my thing is like the Democratic Party kills itself because they do like multiple things, right? Like they have contrary issues that like conflict with each other, and then a lot of these issues like peel off other voters that would have historically supported you, right? So I wrote down a couple of these issues. The first one, illegal immigration. Their stance on illegal immigration made them look unreasonable. It made them look like an unreasonable party. And if any Democrat was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we need to clamp down on illegal immigration. 3,000 people a day shouldn't be crossing the border, because that was happening during the Biden administration. 3,000 people a day shouldn't be crossing the border illegally. If someone said the opposite to that, I mean, if someone said, hey, they shouldn't be doing it, then they were looked at as like a bad Democrat. They're like, oh, what do you mean? These people just want to come here for a good life. We don't care.
Yeah.
Until they start shipping their asses to Democratic cities, then these motherfuckers start complaining and crying about it.
Yeah.
But that made you look unreasonable, right? Trans issues. The trans issues made them look unreasonable. Like being trans people in bathrooms and in sports, people are like, yo, this is an unreasonable thing. You guys are championing this thing, and this is a do or die issue for y'all. Y'all will die on this hill. Y'all have proven to die on this hill, and it makes you look unreasonable.
What is a woman?
Like, what is a woman? Facts, right? Kids being able to transition, right? Like a 13-year-old. Okay, you could chemically castrate a 13-year-old. Just give him or her a bunch of pills to make them look like the opposite sex or feel like the opposite or whatever going on in their head. That's unreasonable. Like that's an unreasonable thing, and nobody's gonna support that. Like you guys are you shooting yourselves in the foot, because these things in and of itself are unreasonable. The war in Gaza, you mentioned that before. Y'all supported that. Now y'all didn't. Y'all supported it.
Did it happen under Biden? Well, it's been happening, but October 7th and all that stuff that happened under Biden's administration, and we funded all of it. Everything that happened after October 7th, we're still funding it, but it was under Biden. So no, bro, that's real stuff.
And the last one I had, defund the police. When the George Floyd shit happened a couple years ago, everybody was like, hey, let's defund it.
Right.
People are getting all caught up right now because they're seeing old clips of themselves being brought up in interviews, being like, hey, you said defund the police. Now you're saying we shouldn't defund them. See, people was trying to ride that wave at the time and being like, oh yeah, fuck the cops. We don't need the cops. Oh, we don't need any cops. All we need are medical professionals, and come to all the houses, and they'll handle all the issues, and they'll figure it all out. That was during the George Floyd wave. Now that shit is over, and people don't really give a fuck. All that shit went away. People are like, hold up, I didn't really mean defund the police. Mamdani, he got caught up in that. He got clips being like, yo, we don't want cops out here in these streets. Like, we need to defund these motherfuckers because they not doing a good job. Now, the shooting happened in New York maybe a month ago or something like that. He like, all right, listen. I didn't mean defund the police in the way that you think I meant. What I meant was now he got to do the politic thing. He got to weasel himself out of it, because he said defund the police is pretty simple. It's defund the police. It means give them less funding.
Yeah.
So if you said that and you got videos out there saying that, because he was on a podcast before talking about that, then it's like not even just him, but there was multiple Democratic people being like, "Yo, we should defund the police," right? Mayor Adams, not Adams, Brandon Johnson in Chicago was one of them. Defund the police, defund the police. But this nigga personally got like a detail of like 150 cops.
Yeah.
So you talking about defund the police for all of Chicago, but you're fully funded by the police. Y'all, you making sure you and your wife Stacy are perfectly funded by the police. Y'all perfectly safe.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Yeah, bro. I listen. So I agree with Jon Stewart, and like I said, Democrats don't have answers to this question, right? And every time they've had a candidate who was popular, like Bernie Sanders, whether people like it or not, is still the most popular senator in the country.
Probably
his approval rating is the highest of all the senators in this country. He had so much energy behind him when he was running against Trump. Polls were suggesting he could have beaten Trump. And what they do, they snubbed him. They propped Hillary up, and Hillary lost horribly to him, right? So every time the Democratic Party has a person who has the energy of the young people, has the energy of the people who want something different, the Democratic parties say, "No, we're not doing that." And remember, we were talking before about Mandani and some of his ideas, and I'm like, bro, if you guys are saying these ideas aren't going to work, let us try, and if it fails, then you can be like, "We told you." But to just cut it off and be like, we're not even going to try or launch any of these initiatives because it's not going to work. I'm like, bro, let it fail. So you can really show the American people, this is what y'all voted for, and it does not work, right? So every time we get something different, the Democratic Party just say no. And they don't want to rebrand themselves. They still want to do the same old. Right. And they're going to keep losing, bro. They're going to keep losing, bro. They really, really are. Like, I don't see how they're going to win, bro. I don't. Trump has to F up so bad that maybe people will be like, all right, fine, we're going to try the Democratic Party again. But I don't think he's there.
No.
I don't think he's there yet.
I agree. All right, well, listen. Let us know what y'all think, family. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.
Until next time.